speak to Rami Khouri, who's a distinguished public policy fellow at the American University of Beirut. He joins us live from Boston. Rami, great to see you. We just we heard that John ending on that note saying that this was a momentous occasion. Your thoughts on seeing the first Syrian president to enter the White House since 1946?
Well, my thought is that Ahmed Shara is a pretty wily fellow. He knows what he's doing. He's succeeded in many of the things that he's done in his career, and this is just the latest example. And I think we should all welcome good relations between the United States and Syria, because the United States is the most powerful country in the world militarily, and it's using its power in very negative ways all around the Middle East, creating huge problems, including for Syria. They allow the Israelis to destroy the entire Syrian defense system. And Syria is the most strategic Arab country. I mean, it's not the wealthiest, it's not the biggest, but it has the most strategic links to all of the issues and all of the major players in the Middle East, including Turkey, Israel, Iraq, the Kurds, the Gulf countries, Lebanon, Palestine. It's quite an extraordinary meeting, and it just goes to show you that in politics, there are really no things such as personal interest. Whether people like each other or not. I mean, Trump has said this many times. Oh, I like Putin. I like this guy or that lady. And that means nothing. That's just a sign of ignorance when people say that. But
Rami, on that point, exactly. You say that it isn't just personal, he likes him, but what exactly does Donald Trump want from Ahmed al-Shara? There have been rumours of, or talk of, a possible US base in Syria.
I would be very surprised if they had a base. They would probably, they already have a base. They have people in northern Syria and on the Syrian-Iraqi border. They had people for years. They would probably disguise it as a frontline outpost for fighting ISIS and terrorism and things like that. The U.S., it doesn't need a base. It has Israel in the Middle East. It has bases all over the Gulf and the Levant and its satellite and long-distance missiles and fleets. And so, a U.S. base in Syria is not a particularly special or novel thing. It's the media and the West especially makes a big deal out of it. They already have the relationship that they want with most of the Arab countries and Israel and others. So I wouldn't put much stress on that.
So Rami, as you said in your first answer, Syria is a very strategic Arab country. How much trust has the US put right now in Ahmed al-Shara? Where does this go next? We saw he's lifted the Caesar sanctions partially.
Yeah, I would repeat that it's the most strategic country in the Middle East, not just Arab country. It's the most strategic country in the Middle East and has been for approximately 4,000 years, historically and today. And if you travel around Syria, you see all these incredible remains of ancient civilizations, including military, castles, Crusader and Ottoman and Roman, and every period going back to the Iron Age. So it is really a unique country with incredible human talent and all the resources that a powerful country should have, such as natural wealth and farming and skilled people, strategic location and all that. And that's why people have fought to control Syria for the last several hundred years. And many of the problems of the modern Middle East, starting in World War I, emerged out of the British and French and then Russian and American and other interests who tried to control Syria. And they're still at it. They're still trying to do that. So I think the point that is important to keep in mind is, will the Syrian people, with the leadership they have, if they've chosen it or not, but if the leadership responds to the needs of the people and the people have an opportunity to participate in decision-making and setting up a decent government that is credible and responds to its people's needs and promotes development and justice, etc., this is something that we should welcome. And I'm sure this is what Shara is telling Trump and has been telling every other leader that he's met in the last several months. Syria's stability is critical for the whole region, and that stability can't be played around with like a bargaining chip that we'll do this and you do that. It's good that the U.S. is reducing or taking away all the sanctions now, but you can't play with Syria's well-being as a bargaining chip in the region. You have to be committed to the rights of the Syrian people and government and state, and work with them to achieve those rights, and they will reciprocate and be good partners with you as long as there's no playing games or the problem is that Syria's relationships with great powers around the world, from all around the world, in the north, the south, the west, the east, well, not so much the east, but the west especially, the relationship has not been a happy one. That the Western powers have been deceitful, have been militaristic, have been selfish, trying to get everything.
We'll have to leave it there. We've run out of time, but thank you very much indeed. Rami Khouri speaking to us there from Boston. Really appreciate your time and thoughts.